So, I was thinking about investment and not the financial investment, maybe investment, but also the emotional investment. Um, we human beings have a tendency to believe that everything will stay the way it is right now. That's why we fall in love with our past so much. Um, we try to nurture relationships, assuming that as long as we keep nurturing them, it's gonna grow and give back. Now, one thing is for sure that when we nurture our relationships, it really helps because it shows our appreciation towards them. But difficult situation arises when we get too attached with our relationships and even our work. We get so attached with our work and the people and our environment, the city we live in, the school we go to, the job we do. We get so attached with these things that we find ourselves in this little bubble, and that's our whole world. We don't know anything outside of it, and we don't even want to know. We are in a self-preservation mode when we are in this, and we tend to believe that it's all gonna stay, it's all gonna be permanent forever. And right at that moment, something happens which you were not looking forward to, and you find yourself having a heartbreak because you thought that it's gonna go a certain way, but it doesn't. What do? That's one part of life that hasn't been answered, and there is no set answer to that. You ask yourself questions like, if this was gonna happen anyway, why did I put so much into this? If this was gonna happen anyway, why did I work so hard? Or why did I invested so much in this little project, or in this little love relationship, or in this family relationship, or anything that you get so attached to, you know? And you get really frustrated, you get really mad. Things didn't go the way it should have. It was not in your control. Again, it all comes back to yourself. The answers are all in here. What is something that we can do that can fill our cup from time to time? Even though our cup flows out and people take from it, we want to find a way where our cup keeps filling itself abundantly, so that we never run out of the energy, the life force. What can we do? Well, simple solution is, in my opinion, is absorption and production. Absorption and production. These are two things that we can do in order to keep ourselves full of positive emotions, even when things don't go the way they should. Of course, we'd expect certain things to go a certain way. That's life. And of course, downfalls would come and rises would come. But if we are forever involved in absorption and production, then we can take control. This is what I mean. By absorption, I mean self-education. knowledge, exploration. And this happens with exposing yourself to experiences that you have never exposed yourself to before. Traveling is a good one. Going out there and seeing places, learning about the history, meeting people from different cultures, having interactions with them, having a little meal with them, making friends with them, going to your favorite classes, like if you're into acting, going for improv, or joining a martial art classes, or Muay Thai, capoeira, dance classes, hip hop. All of those things are a way to absorb. Another best way of absorption is reading. Reading the kinds of books you love, especially the ones that focus upon self-transformation. Absorb all the beautiful ideas by these wise men who have contributed their lives. They've used their life experiences and put it down in one little book. There's something to take from these guys. Catch it. Catch them all. Look it up. Ralph Waldo Emerson, Eckhart Tolle, Plato, all of these great, Will Durant, great writers. There's something to learn from them. So absorption, what absorption does is it connects you with all of those people who have pondered the similar kind of questions. Sigmund Freud. The names that come into my mind. Okay, so what happens is when you read them, you can get into their minds. Their consciousness is preserved in their book, right? You can continue the world story from absorbing their point of views. And of course you're a special being. Of course you have special experiences in the past, and you have something unique about you. And when you come into the absorption mode and you take in all these ideas, serendipity happens. Now serendipity means amalgamation of two beautiful ideas, which forms the third idea that comes out of the combination of these two ideas. So when serendipity happens, you get this feeling of ecstasy and awe, and it's sweet. It's a beautiful feeling once you're there. So absorption is one, always keeping ourselves involved in learning something new. It could be a language, it could be an art, anything that fascinates your soul. So that's one. And number two is production. Knowing the real purpose of your life, knowing why you exist, knowing your true gift. One day, the life's gonna end, and what are you gonna leave behind? Again, remember, your existence won't matter at all. Think from that perspective. Your existence won't matter at all at some point. But the beauty about this life is to keep doing anyway. That's the process. That's the growth phase. And that's where we live and evolve. Every 11 months, we are a new person. Each cell of our body would change. Each bone would be replaced by a new one. So, if everything is changing, then how can you stay wherever you are and also call yourself living? You're not living if you're not growing. That's a fact. It's downward spiral when you stop. Stagnation happens. So the best way is to only spiral up, spiral up. And that happens when you produce. Production happens when you form right habits. Now, right habits are the ones that are particular to you. Let's say you love playing an instrument. You're a musical person. You love playing guitar, right? Now, that's your instrument. And you have a habit that every day you devote 1 hour to this instrument, trying to explore all the chords and all the notes and all the whole scale. And every day you learn something new and challenge yourself to get to the next level. After a few months, your fingers know where to tap. Your right hand knows when to strum what kind of rhythm. It becomes a part of you. In the same way when you drive a car, the car becomes you. The car has consciousness the moment you step into it. So that becomes your instrument, and the production happens when those beautiful ideas coming from that unknown, unlimited space. When those ideas come from that abundant source and they come through you in your instrument, you produce something new. You produce something that is appreciated by the world, because the world sees that unlimited beauty in your production, and the world recognizes it because they all come from the same source as well. That's what appreciation means. Okay? And when you're producing, you find yourself a purpose. You find a reason for living. And the biggest reason for living is giving. You give. You go in there, go inside of you, come out with jewels and offer it to the world. And you give, and you give, and you stay abundant, and you expect nothing in return.